So here are just a few examples of why I think it's important for you to understand biology, regardless of whether you're going to go on and use it professionally. Most of you know one of the biggest challenges we face as this planet is this AIDS epidemic. It's caused by a certain kind of virus called HIV-1 that gets into particular cells of your immune system that normally defends us against infection and destroys those. And then people die from infections by other organisms that normally you can fight off. It's a huge problem with vast societal and economic implications, and it's one that we're still, as a mankind, still trying to deal with, grapple with. Here's another example. Just a couple of years ago, there was the scare of anthrax. It's a bacterium that's very pathogenic, can kill its host fairly easily. Does it by making particular toxins. The details shown here don't matter, but just reminding you that this is something that was in the front pages of the paper just a little while ago. A couple of years ago when I was teaching this, we had the scare with the SARS virus that went all the way during the course when I was teaching it, from the initial discovery of the virus to the actual sequencing of the genome, which had happened by later on in the course. Smallpox was a disease we thought that we'd eliminated, but now it's come back as a bioterrorism threat, and there's increased study of smallpox. It's something we have to worry about again. Here's another example. This is a picture showing the start of a transgenic animal. We'll talk about how this process goes later in the course, and it's related also to this whole issue of cloning, using the sense of the word, such as in trying to clone a human or clone an animal to make a genetically identical copy. So see, there are a couple of different uses of the word cloning as we go through the course. There's a lot of fuss in the news, in the newspapers, about genetically modified food, and people have different positions on it. Here's a case where I think the benefit of a genetically modified food could hardly be argued with. About 2/3 of the world's population uses rice as their primary source of food. One of the problems with rice is it doesn't make beta-carotene. And beta-carotene is what our bodies take and use to make vitamin A. If you have a vitamin A deficiency, people are prone to infection. They have immune deficiencies in their immune system and blindness. And this deficiency of vitamin A caused by eating rice afflicts about 400 million people worldwide. But rice is only 2 chemical steps away from being able to make beta-carotene. This is a genetically modified version of rice that has those 2 extra steps inserted in it. You can see it's golden because it's making beta-carotene. If people were to eat that form of rice, then they wouldn't have this problem with vitamin A deficiency. Penny Chisholm, in her part of the course, will be considering things at a more global level. Here's a picture of our planet, and there are issues that you know about there. This is the carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere are rising, and that's a real phenomenon. This shows from 1960 to 1995. This is associated with a global warming that, again, is undeniable that it's happening. You'll see stuff in the papers. And these gases, particularly carbon dioxide and methane, that are known as greenhouse gases, are playing a role in that, and probably mankind is playing a role in the production of those gases, and hence in global warming. And Penny will talk to you a little more about that. Right here at MIT, Mario Molina in EAPS discovered the ozone hole, got a Nobel Prize for that. Ozone is important because it absorbs UV, critical stuff, component of ultraviolet radiation that would damage our cells if we were exposed to it. And because of emission of fluorocarbons in the environment, this large hole developed over Antarctica. If that had spread, it would have been a real disaster. And that seems to be the efforts to cut down on the release of fluorocarbons seem to be helping with that. But again, Penny will have more to say. Those of you who've lived around here for a little bit probably know that the fishing industry, just locally, has had a very hard time. There's a fishing boat just up at Gloucester, just up the coast, less than an hour from here. And part of the problems, again, are caused by mismanagement of the resources, where the fish have been, stocks have been overfished, so some of the fisheries have come to the point of collapse, or near in places such as the Grand Banks off of Newfoundland, there has been a collapse, and it's not at all clear that it can be reversed, and whether they'll be caught in large quantities ever again there. Okay, so a variety of ways that we can study biology, and I think I'm going to begin by outlining how we do that. Biology is an experimental science. It's one of the really important themes that will run through this course. You can't study biology by just sitting down with a pen and paper in a room and thinking. You have to get out and find out what's there. You need to make observations. You need to try experiments. You need to formulate hypotheses and test them and either modify your hypothesis or reject it and so on. But it's a continual cycle of experimentation and making hypotheses and testing. That's the scientific method at work. But you can carry that out at different levels. The very highest level would be the biosphere. There's one example. That's Earth. It's here. There are many species of life that are on there. There are many more than a million. The estimates of how many there are range from 10 to, in total, 10 to the 20 million estimated. And one of the big worries right at the moment is that as rainforests are being depleted, parts of the world that are rich source of biological diversity, as those are disappearing, we're losing diversity at quite a rate. Just a couple of years ago, I had a chance to fly over a part of Brazil, and it was just scary to see from the plane how the rainforest had just being cut down, and you could just see how fast some of that, the rainforest was disappearing, and with it many different types of species that only can live there. One can look instead, going down a level, at an ecosystem, which is a particular environment and the species of life found in it. And just to give you a couple of examples of that, it could be a salt marsh, shown here, or here's an interesting environment that Penny Chisholm will tell you more about. This is a black smoker. There's a vent several miles deep in the Pacific Ocean. The water temperature that's gushing out of here is around 360 degrees centigrade, and there's a particular community of life that's able to grow around these deep vents, and Penny will tell you more about that.